Why? Okay. I'm currently at my screen here. I'm going to give an overlay of what I am going to be doing right now on my main screen. If and only if it works. Oh, we're turned around. For some reason it's adjusting my settings without my permission, but okay, here we go. Why are you slow though? I might have to yeah, I'm going to have to restart my Explorer, which is annoying, but I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to be doing here, which is I am currently trying to establish this pipeline that is going to go off into the distance here. Oh, look at this, the arrow here, a nice arrow going towards the right, and we have here the idea. The first idea is I might want to find a good software for doing lines and timelines and adding this, but I'll do Photoshop for here, and this is going to be images. I'll put video here, video. So we have videos and images, and those videos and images, they need to be random, and they need to be found through a feedback loop. Like this, one going from one like this, and then one like this in this feedback loop, where they're being encoded, of course, which is video and audio video and encoding, and they have to, I have things written down here. It might want to do, I need to pull files from subfolders, so these in here are in subfolders. I'm going to make this darker. Okay, that's way better. These are in are you going to I'm going to draw a line towards here, then from these sub folders. I don't know if I'm going to use CNNs, probably CNNs, DNNs, but the first thing, the main important thing is going to be Blender. Maybe Unreal. Question mark on Unreal. Unreal is pretty okay, but I feel like it lags, and I don't know whether or not I need any sort of real-time stuff. Real-time really isn't going to matter with this, because this is this here is going to be invisible to me. And two, then there might be CNNs, DNNs, RNNs, the list here goes on, so dot I want to have these, pull those, and using probably I want to do video, so these are going to be, come on, I'll make a list here. Blender, Blender, pixels, and but with Blender I mean I am going to pull, like, pixels is from the internet, but I'm going to pull from the internet, but when I say Blender I also have images of my own on the internet, and I'm going to use those as well, because I'm going to, as well as have my own images, I'm going to alter those images with other images and try to create this this algorithm that keeps reapplying to the existing thing, and then makes content streams like that I want to make available for free, royalty free. I'm going to just camera data, camera data. I feel like I need to put a summation in here somewhere, maybe somewhere like here. I don't have this all figured out just yet, but there's going to be some summation thingy going on, of something like X, and then go I might change this in a second, like I equals N, and this is like infinite, because it's infinite time or something like that, and then there's like a whole system going on there. I need to Blender pixels camera data, and data crawling, with the I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to go towards here, but I'm going to draw a distinction here. The question here is like copyright, but that doesn't necessarily apply. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from these, which is data crawling, let's say Pinterest. I'll add an Pinterest. So I need to pull from these sources, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create vectors, and I'm not fully where I mentally fully processed in what I want to do, but like there's going to be matrices, Hilbert spaces, infinitely 3D 3D. Okay, let me 3D maybe I should just write this in with my keyboard. Infinite dimensional Hilbert spaces. Phase spaces are not going to apply. Phase spaces are physics if I'm not phase spaces. But physics is also important, but that's a longer term goal. one thing I want to be able to do is use this data to create more data that is like the data, to create like more images that are like the images before, but not like the image. It needs to recombine and create novel things. But then, of course, at some point, like, it has to understand physics. Because the thing is, if I might make a similar image of a tree with apples, but if I have an apple falling from the tree, the algorithm needs to understand what's happening there. An apple might be pretty simple. It might take it as like, you know, an apple is just, you know, a red object. I'm going to use red here then, like this red apple here. A red apple is a red object, and the apple falls from the tree, which is a basic. I think everybody understands what I'm saying with when I say the apple falls from the tree. There's a tree here, like this, and it's falling from the tree. That's here, okay. I need to make it artistic, which is a habit. Okay, so the apple falls from the tree. Now it might take that as an apple falls from a tree because a red object is something that is either in the tree or it is falling down. Or it doesn't think of it as falling down, but it's like something where the pixels of the red might be here, and it's going like this, but it's never going to go above this, and it's not going to go upwards. It's not going to like ever go up to the sky, because that's impossible. That is what the data says that it never does, but that doesn't mean that it is fundamentally going to understand that the apple is falling, which might be necessary once you go into learning something like engineering. Because, like, for example, I want to feed some data. No, I don't need to write data here, but I want to feed some data of a machine, for example, and I want to make it rebuild the machine. But then there's it needs to know how a machine functions, what its purpose is, and it needs to understand that a machine might be broken. Now, of course, you have to, if you are a human, you need to be educated in such a thing as well. And you now, of course, not entirely. Some people can just come up, well, not just come up, but like a lot of inventions are done by accident, or you know, you might have someone who thinks something is not possible and then they do it anyway, and then it ends up being possible, because we don't know everything about physics. If we did, we wouldn't have quantum physics. But then I think I am my webcam is currently in front of what I am doing. I'll put you here. Looking at what I'm writing down here, so we have the matrices, which is, and the Hilbert spaces. I'm looking for a word of something that I can explain with what I'm going to try doing is kind of like, I want to make an analogy, but like I want to create needles through data, like that are like, there's data there's like data blocks here, and where the data here it's pulling from. This might have several applications. Like for example, let's say that I have pulled a needle through an image here, and there's like a needle here. Then I can pull the needle, and that the image, which was first like a circle, that then becomes like this, which is where the matrix comes in. I'm creating, but I want to do that in a way that is like, so the needle was here and now it has pulled it away, and now there's like this thing, which is basically, you know, how 3D works and all that stuff. Like if I'm in Blender, I'll open Blender just to be sure. I'm not going to use it right now, but you know, there's like a pull and then it goes like that. I want to do that on a larger scale. I want to have like, you know, you have a large amount of data structures and like alter all that data at the same time, and then also create, like I said here, this is going to have to become recursive, and not only recursive but also evolutionary. So it has to keep churning things out, pulling, distorting and damaging the data in a way that it doesn't break the files, of course, but like that the image, so the images and the videos here and here are going to be altered in a massive scale. And why I am going to be doing that is because I need this entire thing in order to, maybe I shouldn't, I might have to write some sort of equation here between these, but I'll keep that for now. What it's going to have to do is going to analyze, so analyze is going to distort, it is going to analyze, distort, recreate, it is going to comprehend, it is going to remix, is going to do all of these, and then what this is going to is like going to create new data, which is then going to be fed in, which is the final result here. I'm going to make this, how am I going to bracket this guy? I like this, something like this. This is going to then eventually result in publication. So we have this structure as a whole that is going to create new content, and so at first it's going to be pulling things that already exist and probably be pretty similar, but I need to train it so that it is different enough so that it's no longer the underlying pattern. And what I am saying here with these needles is going to learn to recognize so your pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is going to analyze data, like let's say for example music. Let's say that I turn a crawler. Did I say crawler here? Camera data blender, blah, 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 blah. Data crawling, yes. Okay, so let's call this the crawler. And this crawler, what it's going to do is then going to analyze like YouTube music, the music that's on YouTube, and it's going to pull data like views. I don't know if I can get who's listening, but like it's going to pull a bunch of data that from which I can then in a part I want to make automated movies. So movies that are completely like AI generated. I want to create those movies that are different every time. And so as I'm saying here, what it's going to do is it's going to have music, analyze the data, find patterns in those data that are common. So it's no longer it's not, you know, if I'd stay like I'd take one piece of music and I take just like a rhythm that's in there, which isn't mine, or like a part of it, then it is copyrighted by that owner. But if I analyze across a large pool of data of things that are good, successful, that are clean, that are like things that I like or that I know are going, the first probably thing is going to be that I'm just going to make music that I like preferentially myself. But of course I want to go into a commercial aspect of it as well. So what that might mean is going into it and then just analyzing the music that is doing really well in the world, like that has the most views of all time and this and that. And probably, of course, the music that's probably also going to, the really great, good, well-doing music is also, you know, that it's going to have political backgrounds, and it's going to have like the person itself and stuff like that. And that's of course something else that I might do. But like analyze that music and figure out what the essences are in there that are very common in between all those musics or songs, and then create an algorithm that recreates that exactly, and then also tries to create an algorithm that can predict which is like the next song that is going to do well within that. You have that sort of thing already with YouTube and their recommendations, but they don't have a process really. They as far as I know, maybe the behind the scenes they're doing exactly that, and those amazing musicians that you're hearing are all not real, and YouTube is already doing stuff like that. But like the main purpose is going to be to create this thing where I am churning out stuff that has all the elements that I wanted to have, that combines elements into one whole that is then completely different and separate from the original thing, but is like has all the elements that it's like just like in a picture you would have like you build the data and you would know like, oh, this has like lighting, and this is like, let's say that just like to create like something that can churn out things according to the quality standards that I set myself. And then the evolutionary part comes in, because I myself, when I am doing stuff, I evolve. Like I start to come up with new things, and I start to make up new words and new association, and try to also keep that in mind and make sure that it has some sort of evolution, and like an evolutionary recursive branches, that it branches off, and then for as far as it is capable of producing things there, until it tapers off and it's like just noise, and then once the noise is detected, that it stops and then moves on, and maybe in a very very far future, well, of course dependent on how fast I can process things, but like let's say 5 months down the line, they're like, we have now created all this new music, but there were patterns that are currently not used, that were there when things were being processed 5 months ago, and then so it can pull back to that branch and create a mix with what was before, and then like stuff like that. So it is like this continuous, like everlasting cycle of data, of things that are being recombined into new and novel things, without the use of any sort of human that is actually doing anything of the source. I have face recognition stuff from Facebook here somewhere. I don't think on this computer, but I don't know if I set this in the line. I have just set up my servers or my LAN. My computer is connected with the other one, which is finally, and it had some problems. I couldn't get it to work, but it's like done now. And then I'm going to set this up so I can mix and create like an entire server of this, and then just have everything running and doing its thing, and then I'll see where I'm going from there, but this is where I'm at currently. I need to study some more math. I'm currently reading Albert Einstein by Stephen Hawking. I need to really churn in like good amounts of math over the next coming months, and do more of this, and then pull data, crawl data, public data mainly, and test and train stuff. I'm currently developing, I'm writing some, maybe I probably am going to do that in a different one, but I am file, open file, let's see, yeah, creating a battery name and shuffle. So I need to, like what I was saying here with the needles, I need to be capable of having algorithms and software that is capable of pulling files from a GUI, from a directory, just something in a way that's something that is easily accessible, where I just have to give in the parameters of like, you have to do this in an easy, just compact thing, and then that it also can easily adapt to changing platforms, and that it can automatically fill things in, that it can automatically like for example like uploading to YouTube, that that it keeps itself within the parameters of YouTube and doesn't just start doing a bunch of stuff that it doesn't need to be doing, but that it also does what it would do if a normal human would be doing it, but like in a way that you couldn't tell that it's not a human anymore, like that it's actually like just a computer that did the exact thing. But of course I am behind it, and I am monitoring what it is doing, and I'm just it's just like a tool, like a macro that I press, that would execute things that I would otherwise have to do like 50 hours of work for, and then keep this guy in that hole. I do need to think about, I think I'm almost well, almost there is a very far-fetched way to saying it, that there's a lot to be done, and then I need to make it cognitively aware, or maybe not cognitively, but like at least capable of understanding nuance and learning its creative habits. I don't know why that doesn't exist. Maybe it does in some way. It is in. There's always like stuff like that exists in some way or another. Everything is of course building one thing on top of the next. But I feel like I'm rambling, and I'll follow up on this in the next one.